Namaste, beloveds. This is Mother with Wisdom, aka Valerie Ames, and I'm here with a very special download, transmission, exchange of information, whatever you choose to call it. Um, and it's very deep, so I'm just going to get into it. Um, and I entitled it, Which Came First, the Chicken or the Egg? You or the Narcissist? And I apologize for, I could look at this going and I see the delay in it already. I see the lag in it, and I don't know why it does that, beloveds. I really don't. This is a brand new Mac, so I don't know what's going on with it, why it's acting like that, but I'm not going to pay that any attention, and I'm just going to keep going. It's not about what the video looks like. It's about you being able to hear it. That is what matters most to me. So here we go. Please pay attention to the symbols of the three. Two are in evidence. The third played a part but does not stick around in producing the egg. We are what we eat, right? Follow the breakdown of that. A hen has sex with a rooster. A hen lays an egg. The mother hen sits on her eggs. She broods. She worries about them. One day, the eggs hatch, and all the little yellow peeps or chicks are so cute. The rooster, also known as the cock, is around keeping an eye on things and having sex with every hen who is available, meaning not brooding or caring for her chicks. Why does the hen brood? Why is she so nervous? Because she knows instinctively that all of her eggs will not make it into chicks. So she teaches her chicks how to survive. She conditions them on proper chicken etiquette and what happens as far as existing as a chicken. Soon, the chicks are young hens themselves and maybe a couple of roosters. The mother, who is too old now to lay eggs, is now made into a meal. Meanwhile, the chickens are being fed with corn, grain, etc. The human body now digests the meal that was the mother that consisted of the chicken, the hen, and after digesting, poops what the body was not able to use to nourish it out. And that sewage now goes back into the earth, from which the crops will grow that offer sides for the chicken meal, that also produces food for the chicken and the roosters and the baby chicks to eat and so forth. This cycle was maintained in a way that is called hand to mouth, meaning there is no disconnection of the energy of life being exchanged. I don't know why the word emerging wanted to just jump itself in there, but there's no disconnection of the energy of life being exchanged. The energy exchange is unbalanced. Wait, the energy exchange is a balanced harmony, also a rhythm of hand to mouth. Imbalance comes when you interfere with that natural exchange by introducing machines for mass production and means for mass production. No longer just the local production, no longer just hand to mouth. Now the chickens are producing eggs at a rate that is not healthy for them. How do I know? The bones of the chickens we eat that are not free range are different in color and brittleness, and the meat has a different taste. What is my point? Respect for existence, respect for the oneness of our connection, honoring what we do to them, we do to ourselves. We speak of slavery, human trafficking, breeding farms, the making of a slave. Observe, we do it to animals without seeing them as part of us. Yet we attribute human emotions and feelings to them. We witness this, but we don't see the exchange of energy and essence in a sacred way. And beloveds, just as I was reading that, the book Charlotte's Web just surfaced. And the little pig and the spider and the little girl and her relationship to them and the hand in the mouth. This is ooh, that's deep, okay? We no longer thank life for life or existence for our existence and keep existence healthy and balanced out of respect for the oneness and wisdom of it. And please don't think I'm speaking only of animals. The same goes for plants and for the minerals of the earth. We rape, pillage, cultivate, and sell everything in the name of material wealth, which is non existent because no one ever has enough and you can never take it with you. Love and soul used to go into every endeavor of the hand and the mouth. These were our blessings. These were our blessing ways. And these were where our blessings came from. And we kept our spiritual connection to all intact by identifying with all, connecting the dots as above, so below. One consciousness, not split into ego, mind, and works of the flesh versus spiritual connection and consciousness and fruits of the spirit. But this is where we are reaping the sins of the fathers. Breakdown of that reaping the sins of the fathers. The cock, the rooster, the fathers spread his seed, but has no attachment to the hen or the chicks. But it is his duty to only be the cock of the walk. The hen, the single mother, trying to keep everything together because like existence manifested as her chicks depend upon her. So she often appears nervous or hysterical to the roosters. The chicks are conditioned to be replicas of the rooster and the hen in a natural setting. But what happens when you now have chicken farms and artificial insemination and the breeding conditions resemble the shackling together of humans being transported in the bowels of a ship across the waters from their genetic memories of identity. And I use that analogy, that image, because that is the image that came forth as I was seeing these chicken farms and these chickens right on top of each other. Was just like the slaves in the Mafia who were shackled together nearly on top of each other, vomiting, defecating, trying to breathe in this environment. It's the same with these chicken farms and a lot of the other different ways that we are doing and doing agriculture now and shepherding now. We've come from the hand to mouth way of doing things. That is what this transmission is about. That means that there's a disconnect. Okay, let me keep going. Human beings rape and kill other adult human beings. Adult human beings rape and kill animals, children, the land, same sex, the elder. It does not matter. This is called works of the flesh, which cannot recognize itself as spirit, as existence itself. It identifies most with non-existence, death as its master. I'm going to die, so I'm going to do what I want to do. They want me to tell you to breathe, to pause, or stop and digest what was just given and then come back. So if you need to pause it and digest what was given, just stop it for a minute, breathe, go over what was said and given to you, and then Turn it back on. Do not try and do all of this at once. Chew on what has been given. Allow yourself to process and digest it before we move on. Second part, which came first, you or the narcissist? I will break it down this way. And beloveds, again, when I say I use the word EYE, and that is the collective that is speaking, okay? I will break it down, not me personally. I will break it down this way. The Garden of Paradise was a balanced ecosystem and consciousness. Understand that. Ecosystem and consciousness. Understand it in connection with the agricultural and the farming and the animal and the plants and everything and the human relationship to both. That is the three, okay? Above, below, inner, outer, until imbalanced by narcissistic thoughts and desires, overgrew boundaries and manifested its own identity, consciousness, conscious focus given to death instead of life. Flesh over spirit, not their being integrated into one. No, them being in competition with each other. Now stop a moment and observe. In the beginning, there was only one awareness, one cell. And instead of that one cell knowing itself as all of existence, itself, perfection itself, it needed to compete and compare itself to itself. Thus, the narcissistic reference, okay? And this narcissistic reference is the sin itself. Sin is simply missing the mark, not understanding what you're supposed to understand, not being able to go with the flow, not being true to what you were aimed at, missing the mark, okay? And what caused the missing of the mark was narcissistic desires, tendencies, will itself, a narcissistic will within that cell, that being, that existence, expressing itself, okay? Just like the two wolves, which one do you feed? So let me keep going. But I want you to understand conscious existence knew it did not split itself. It just retreated a little bit more. And it allowed that, let me keep going because I wrote it down. Thus, the narcissistic consciousness became manifest, and in the cellular multiplication, it became part of the genetic code and mutation. And when it got to see itself in this light, it felt shame and exposed. It felt vulnerable. It began to die. So it asked for something to dwell inside of. This spiritual consciousness did. So unconditional love, still recognizing itself as thinking and believing. Recognizing itself as itself. Thinking and believing now the illusion, the dream that it was separate because it had manifested itself into this transformation condition, gave it flesh, a bio bodysuit, in its own image of male and female instead of androgyny. And now that the narcissist had given birth to itself and had fully manifested itself and was given a form to be placed inside of, it also manifested a world, a multiverse, or a parallel universe in which it could thrive and survive. But, beloveds, keep in mind that the original essence of existence still existed, okay? Or that narcissistic existence or expression of existence could not be. But this existence in all of its wisdom allowed the narcissistic version that sprang itself into being to do what it needed to do, to see what it needed to see, to experience what it needed to experience in order to integrate itself back into wholeness. Okay, let me keep going. And now that the narcissist had given birth to itself, manifested itself, it also needed a manifested world, a multiverse or a parallel universe in which it could thrive and survive and not affect the natural order of the original state of existence. As time was birthed to/by the narcissist to keep up and keep track of the original question that it had issued to itself, because it needed to prove itself right, superior, while staying in its narcissistic delusion of serving non-existence. Existence granted it a certain recovery, rediscovery, rebirth period to see itself. If it, the animator of flesh and material matter form, which dies and perishes into another state of energy, is more deserving of focus, unconditional love, worship, praise, allegiance, energy exchange, than all being one. Okay, I need you to breathe and stop again and digest that for a moment. Because next we are going to answer the questions, which was first, and why that is so vital an answer right now. Please be as empty as you can possibly be. This is a very direct and impactful download / transmission / message / energy exchange / storytelling. This is what each of us must understand in our current state of conscious awareness. And this came about as something that you need to say to yourself. And you should say it looking into a mirror or camera or however you need to do it. And you can substitute the words or break it down in what's more comfortable for you, but keep the integrity of the essence of the message itself. Okay? Because this is the only word that's coming forth, this is a lifeline. A lifeline. So this is an umbilical cord being given to nourish you. So here it is. And this is a mantra, this is a prayer, this is you speaking to you. This is you acknowledging who you are, where you are, what you need to yourself. This is what each of us must understand. In my current state of conscious awareness, ascending into integration back into the vastness of existence itself, which can also be known as unconditional love, I must no longer choose or agree to a narcissistic, separate identification phase of existence that limits and condemns me to death and dying. As unconditional love, I welcome and hold space for even this once desired expression of my infinite, eternal vastness. I send healing with the energies of light and unconditional love to the vastness of the helpers, the guides in each and every form they have taken to help me wake from my sleeping / state of death consciousness. Each friend, each enemy, I as a narcissist, being I as a narcissistic being, use the laws of the universe to maintain and manifest my previous state of consciousness. Each and everything being energy, both seen and unseen, is part of me acting out the role I demanded of it. If I am still sensing narcissistic energies and forces and beings and feelings and thoughts in your peripheral around you, or you're still tuned into this manifested world, pay attention. It is because I have not finished addressing my own narcissistic tendencies, desires, needs, and wants. And I am comforting myself through my addiction to the familiar / family. Going all the way back to the dysfunction represented in that yard with the chicken, the rooster, and the little peeps. We're portraying once again this broken family, and it's manifesting itself this way. Narcissistic memory does so love the misery of her company / companions / shadow reflections / of days gone by equal death things. Narcissistic memory does so love the memory of her company. So, beloveds, as I was writing that is why we cannot escape our past. That is why a lot of us cannot get past it. That's why we stay there. That's why it's always calling us, always attracting us, and we're always on this repeat cycle, and we cannot seem to unlive it or stop it or break it or whatever it is. Because the narcissistic memory does so love the misery of her company, companions, shadow reflections of days gone by, death things, because this is what is comforting to the narcissistic consciousness. See, the narcissistic consciousness wants to just look at itself in one way. It does not want change. It does not want the aging. It does not want the death. It fears that it does not want it, even though that is what is perpetuating. That's the disconnect. But see, you as the observer of this going on for centuries in history, you should now be able to see yourself and say, you know what? Let me keep going. So, beloveds, you cannot change another. See, we've always been conditioned that, oh, the rooster got to change. That damn rooster, if he would only pay me some attention, if he would stop spreading his damn seed all over the place, if he would stay his ass home and help me with these damn chicks, we would have a better life. You cannot change another. You can only change yourself. Elevate your own frequency by the question, who am I? Not who are they. You have no control over who they are. The only thing, the only consciousness that you can truly awaken, truly integrate yourself back with, is what is inside you. And you have to know that you are still narcissistically looking at everything how you want it to be. The changes you want and the changes you don't want. And everything is manifesting because you are God. You are existence itself, giving birth to the existence that you desire. And thus you keep repeating because you have not learned to change your desire, to mature your desire. To even see if what you desire is what is best for you, or it's just familiar conditioning. Elevate your own frequency by the question, who am I? Which came first, the chicken or the egg? Translated as, which came first, the expression of life or the narcissistic version of duality? Before duality, who are you? Before duality. See, duality was born, was created itself, laid an egg. It has a beginning, it can have an ending. The ending of duality is integration. And beloveds, this is so powerful for me because I was diagnosed with DID, okay? And you can look that up. I know all the traumas and all the narcissistic things and the needs and the blah, 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 blah. So when I say, why me, Lord? Why not you? This is your part of existence. This is you serving your part of existence. Because you are Juanita, your mama. You are Osime, your grandmother. You are Lemon, your great-grandmother. And so forth and so on. You are your daughter. You are your granddaughters, your grandsons, your son. You are not separate. They are expressions of existence that came through you. Before duality. Who are you? Notice I did not say were. I did not say who were you, because you did not cease to exist. Even in duality, you make room, you hold space for duality inside of you. Duality does not exist outside of you. That's why you integrate it. Before duality, who are you? Notice I did not say were. Caterpillar/butterfly, beloveds. You are a caterpillar who has transformed from a limited state, inchworm, to an unlimited state, butterfly, flying. And beloveds, I want you to think about how that caterpillar has to move. It has to crawl on its belly. Sound familiar? Crawl on its belly. Transform itself and be reborn. And when it is reborn, it is a new being. It no longer needs to crawl on its belly. Has no desire to crawl on its belly. It has no desire to sit back there. Oh, I remember how much fun I had when I was a caterpillar. Those were the good old days. Comparing and competing, It's going and flying and seeing what it can see next. This color flower, this scent, whatever is next. On and on and on. It's only misery that loves company. And a narcissist ain't nothing but an existence of misery. Can't be nothing else because it's separated and detached and disconnected from unconditional love. Don't identify with it. Can't understand it. Wants to hurt it. Wants to take its innocence. When it see it's doing good, it want to come out. I'm still here. You see me? You remember me? I'm still here. Yeah, but so am I. And I've been observing you all this time. And when your little butt get ready, guess what? We gonna integrate, but you ain't ready just yet. You got more work to do. So, here we go. The struggle, the friction allowed the rebirth of your wings. And that, beloved, is that. And I just want to say thank you so much for, like I said, being with me, being part of me, being my guides, being my enemies, whatever role we manifested to play with each other. Whatever name or label we have given that, the ultimate out of all of it is the lesson of integration, of becoming one. And that's the most powerful thing that has come through. And I can just say that I am truly grateful for this process. And I am working on my narcissism. And I know that each time I can look at another and say, you narcissist mofo, you. They reflecting me still, okay? They respecting an aspect of me that I ain't got to. You know how you can clean a mirror, but there be little smudges and little places that you didn't get quite and can't quite see clear? So understand, this world, this illusion, this Maya that we have manifested using universal laws can be integrated into unconditional love. It can be let go of. We can grow out of it. We can ascend above it. We can transcend it. But we have to know that we are unconditional love. And we have to be unconditional love. And we have to know that some, it's going to be harder for them than for others. And it's not your place to push them or pull them or try to help them along by manipulating them. If you mess with that caterpillar, what happens to that butterfly? It's disfigured. It's not as strong as it could be. It may even die because you mess with it, trying to help it. We are imperfect beings, perfecting ourselves. And we have to get in that seat, sit on that throne, and express our sovereignty over ourselves. And once we're able to do that with ourselves, then comes the union with the partner. And then comes the integration into a deeper merging. And so, beloveds, this is the path forward. And like I said, it is full of hope. And it gives me joy, great joy. And even though I can't see every little step, I am grateful knowing that unconditional love has this and has planned for this, and that this is me healing generations. So I'm not just being narcissistic and making myself feel good. I'm making all of us feel good genetically because we are a collective of cells, cellular memories, cellular desires, cellular abilities to multiply and manifest. So that is it, beloveds. And again, I just want to say thank you so much for allowing me to share my journey in this way and just to move between the feelings and to be able to observe without being triggered, without being drawn back into this personhood of I've got to fight to survive, or if I've got to fix how you see me. I've got to fix how I see myself. Now that I'm in this place where I know that I am existence itself existing, that is so vast that it is started from the unseen atomic particle into this manifested flesh with me dwelling, being incarnated into it. And not only this, but me having incarnated other spirits into this world through this flesh. Oh, baby. Humble. Grateful. And for the first time in my life, I can say I know what unconditional love is because I am experiencing it inside and out. Whether it appears that way to anyone else, that's their business. It's their business. It's their opinion. They're entitled to it. But I know deep within me, I'm not in competition with myself, with no one. And I know that I am expanding in my vastness, which means everything else quantumly, okay, will catch up. As long as I stay focused on this, everything else will catch up. Just like the healing that I'm doing right now is going generations, light years, either way, rearranging memories, rearranging histories, all kinds of things. Things that we can't even contemplate just yet because there's so much of our brain that has not become conscious or come online yet or have been touched is the only word that's been touched, activated just yet. And it'll only be activated once we get to a certain level, currency, elevated state of frequency where more and you can receive more. You're only going to get what you can handle. You're not going to get more than what you can handle. That's why the eyes only take in what the mind can handle. Broaden your mind. Open your mind. Open your heart. Be more accepting. Be more loving. Be more giving. Be more understanding of what diversity itself is, expressing itself as existence is, and your connection to all of it. Okay, that's it. Okay. Have a great, great day, beloveds. And know you are not alone. You are more loved than you could possibly realize. And you are right where you need to be. You are waking up right where you need to be. So whatever is going on for you to see what you need to see about yourself, about who you are as existence expressing itself inside of your flesh. Love yourself. Know yourself. Allow the changes. And don't worry about what those changes look like or what they're affecting or somebody else can't handle it. They have to grow themselves. You keep going. You keep integrating. You keep allowing existence to come forward. And that narcissistic ego to retreat. Because when it retreats, it'll go to sleep. It'll be dormant. It'll be integrated. And your vastness will manifest what you need, the abundance that you need, the love you need, the relationships you need, the healing that you need. But you have to make the exchange. This narcissistic identity for your spiritual truth. You have to choose you, the version of you that you want to exist in. Be loved and be blessed.